And that's why I was so happy to have run 159 for my first outdoor 800.
I don't have to worry about an 80-year-old man out there who wants to tell me how I should look like to be a woman. You understand?
I'm not yet very old, but I learned during all these years being an athlete now that it's never about what you're achieving, it's about the process.
For me, it was swimming. Swimming gave me the opportunity to express myself freely, to not feel the need to hide my hand.
And the most fun part was that Lauren and I came from such different backgrounds. I ran in high school and college, signed right out of college for a pro contract.
Hey everyone, Jamie here. We're gonna try something different. We've now interviewed over 350 exceptional women athletes from over 55 countries around the world. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mash up conversation. Let's jump in.
Big new facility record, Natoya Gould will win the women's 1,000.
Off and running, the favorite is Natoya Gould.
My name is Natoya Gould Toppin. I am from Jamaica and I am an 800 meter specialist for Jamaica and I represent Adidas as well.
So much to catch up on because I know you are a 3-time Olympian, you're a brand ambassador. What are some of the things that fans don't get to see? So from the outside, you are absolutely killing it, crushing it, but I'm sure there's been some ups and downs for you along the way. So what do people not actually get to see?
Literally before this Grand Slam in Jamaica, from January stepped in, I've been sick on and off, chest congestion, like I could barely breathe. I have to jump out of workout and, I would never finish. Like I was almost out of practice a whole week in January actually. And this was before Melrose game. And I couldn't train. I was sick. I couldn't move. I had the flu with the chest t-shirt, so I was weak. I couldn't, I sweat through my shirt the whole night, but then sweating helped a lot because the next morning it felt a little better. It went away. Then I went to Melrose Games. I ended up getting another chest congestion. Oh. Yes, because the AC turned off in the hotel while I was sleeping and I had on just sports bra. And then I went to UK and I performed there as well. So those 2 races, I didn't get to run to my best ability. The third time it came again, I was running outside. I was still able to train, but I was breathing hard. And then my quad, the first rep I did, my quad got tight. And then I continued training and then I started feeling my calf. So for 3 weeks, I had calf problem. The first time I put on a spikes was that Saturday before my birthday, Sunday. I was able to put on a spikes. And mind you, this is 2 weeks out from Grand Slam. Shit, wow. I was like just praying and just asking God to just help me. Like I have friends that were praying with me to get healed and I got healed. Like even the Tuesday before leaving the Wednesday for Grand Slam, I almost straighten my hamstring or pull my hamstring because I'm not used to wearing the spikes so much and I was doing a fast workout and I just felt something so I had to stop. So even in Grand Slam, it was a lot of soreness, it was a lot of tightness while I was racing the 800 and that's why I was so happy to have run 159 for my first outdoor 800.
The sports world's highest court ruled yesterday that Semenya must take medication to reduce her unusually high testosterone level if she wants to compete. The court called its decision on the South African runner acceptable discrimination.
South African double Olympic 800-meter champion Caster Semenya was discriminated against by World Athletics.
Hi guys, I'm Caster Semenya, 2 times Olympic champion, 3 times world champion over 800-meter women. And that's what I do. I'm a runner. Now I can sit in my own house and then relax, not to worry about what other people think of me. Just think about what is it that I think of me. When I wake up each and every morning, I look at that mirror and then I love what reflects there. I don't have to worry about an 80-year-old man out there who wants to, regulate, who wants to, tell me how I should look like to be a woman. You understand? That's the power I have. Self-love. They may have blocked me from the track. It did hurt me a little bit, but in my mind I say, you make them change rules. don't you?
It was a slender victory for Semenya Castor, but a victory nonetheless. The European Court of Human Rights ruled by a majority of 4 votes to 3 that the champion runner had been discriminated against by rules in track and field.
The only obstacles that I had to come across is just the self-identity, learning, how to love myself, how to control myself, my emotions, how to mute, and also how to be confident. That can be a very difficult skill to master, because when you're being questioned and when you're being judged, it can be very hard. You can have that low self-esteem. That was a challenge. But then I overcame it. I overcame that.
You just gave me such goosebumps. You are preaching to the choir on this one. Mind blown. You have such a level of confidence about you, and reading your book, it was clear that you've always had this sense of confidence, that you knew who you were at a young age. What advice would you give to people who haven't figured that out yet, who are struggling with that identity piece? What advice would you give to them?
For each and every particular individual, for you to start understanding the human you are, it comes with the love and the support that you get from your family. For me, it comes, with my family, it comes with my mom, it comes with my dad.
Anager is a 23-year-old modern pentathlete. She grew up with 9 siblings on a small farm. Her mom let her try every sport she liked. She chose modern pentathlon to keep doing many things.
Hello, I'm Anna Yurt. I'm from Switzerland. I'm 23 years old. I do a little bit of special sport. It's called pentathlon. It's made out of 5 disciplines. It's shooting, running, the OCR, swimming and fencing. And what's special about myself, I got 9 siblings, so we're quite a big family. And yeah, that's me. I'm not yet very old, but I learned during all these years being an athlete now that it's never about what you're achieving, it's about the process. And I learned to love the process. Even though it wasn't going well, of course, I was super disappointed about bad results. But then I went to the training and I was like, oh, that's what I like to do. That's what I love to do. There's my people. So that's just what kept me going. And then for me, it's always, in pentathlon, you always start with swimming, not most of the cases, but you can start with swimming. And in the end is always my strength, like the laser run. And that really taught me that maybe things look really terrible in the beginning, but if you're being patient and if you're being resilient, it's turning into something good. If you put in the work, there's something coming out of it.
That's really, really good to hear, because I think we have so many community members who are struggling themselves, who are having down days, who are having injuries, who are putting in that work, but potentially not seeing those results. So that's really helpful to hear. You mentioned the laser run, and I have absolutely loved learning about your sport. It's so cool. What do you want people to know about your sport? It's not a super widely known area, so dispel any myths that people get wrong.
There were a lot of things changing in our sports currently. So now there is that new format where you do everything in 90 minutes. So it's really quick. And so a lot of it is not just like, of course, you have to be good in every single sport, but you also have to be like really strong mentally, because there is one thing going wrong. And if you're then being like, oh, fuck, I fucked up, I'm done, then you were done. But if you're being like, come, get your shit together, now stand up, next thing is going, next thing is coming. And then in the end, you never hope it for another athlete, but in the end, if somebody shoots very badly and you're shooting very good, you can always pass them and you can be better. So it's like really fight until the end and see what's the result. That's something I would like to share, because for spectators, super cool to watch, but also as an athlete, it's such a great thing to do. You're not like in sprinting, I'm running, 12 seconds in 100 meters. I'm never gonna win a medal. But here, you never know. Like if you're giving your best shot, you have a good shot to actually win it. Also, if you're not maybe the best athlete on the paper.
Husna Kukundakwe's journey to this year's Paralympic Games began at the age of 5, when she began swimming in the Ugandan capital, Kampala. Growing up living with a disability, the young swimmer excelled in the pool, using her talent to gain confidence and combat discrimination.
I'm Husna Kukundakwe. I'm a 2-time Paralympian. I take part in paraswimming, and currently I'm in Uganda, which is where I live.
You mentioned that swimming gave you a level of confidence. So what would you say to those individuals who are, still struggling and still figuring themselves out?
I want to tell them what my mom always did tell me growing up. Just ignore what those people are telling you. Because in school, people would look at me, point fingers, laugh, and it felt really, really uncomfortable. And it's a bunch of kids, so you can't really blame them. They don't know what they're doing. And then even it would get worse when the adults are also looking and pointing fingers, and it's like, you need to block out those voices, because otherwise they're just going to end up feeling bad for yourself, feeling pity for yourself, which is not what you want ever.
No.
You just have to believe in yourself, push away those voices, and have a goal and reach out for it, have a dream and reach out for it as much as you can with lots of hard work, determination. And in terms of feeling confident in your own skin, of course, it's a journey. It's a journey that everyone goes through, whether it's able-bodied or disabled. It's just something about finding what makes you feel confident. For me, it was swimming. Swimming gave me the opportunity to express myself freely, to not feel the need to hide my hand, and to just be me. So whatever makes you feel happy, whatever you love doing and you want to pursue it for a long time, I'd advise you to go for it and have fun while you're at it.
Shannon Roberry of the United States shows world-class form and grace.
You never want to leave it to chance like that, so I made it up to 5th and moving on to the finals, so I'm very pleased.
My name is Shannon Roberry. I'm a 3-time Olympian in track and field, women's 1500, and an Olympic bronze medalist in that event.
Talk to us about the medalist mindset.
Yeah, I created it with Lauren Gibbs. She's a bobsled silver medalist, and we had worked together at a sports tech startup. And even though we had moved on to other roles after that job, we stayed in touch and we kept having these conversations about how the tools that had helped us be successful at the Olympics were so applicable to the business space. And yet so many of the kind of self-help or performance toolkits in business are written by either academics or by a lot of military veterans, but they weren't necessarily leveraging those sports performance tools that are somewhat of a newer development. I mean, I think when I started using sports psychology in college in the kind of early to mid 2000s or early 2000s to 20 teens, it was a newer thing. And I think we've had more visibility and more conversations around how these tools have helped athletes handle the pressure, but they haven't necessarily been translated into business. And so we really wanted to distill them down into some kind of key tools that others could leverage, put those tools together in a step-by-step process for those who wanted it to sort of wrap their heads around how to set a goal all the way to going after it. And the most fun part was that Lauren and I came from such different backgrounds. I ran in high school and college, signed right out of college for a pro contract. Lauren decided to start competing in the bobsled at age 30. Yet we both went on to the Olympics to get medals and had these really core points that served us both. And so it was fun really finding where that overlap was, because we felt like that was the secret sauce to be able to share with others.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you're hearing, please leave us a positive review. If you want to impact the future stories we tell, take our community survey in the notes section of this podcast or in the YouTube links. We want to hear from you. Stay tuned for our next episode. If you're not following the Flame Bearers channel, covering resilient women Olympians and Paralympians, hearing about their struggles, hopes, and triumphs, you don't know what you're missing. Subscribe and watch new episodes of Flame Bearers now.